Greetings, brothers and sisters. It gladdens my heart that you could be here once again to join me on this Sunday, the Lord's Day. Blood has been spilled this week, and 1,000 small kindnesses have been spread. The battle continues to do the right thing. Let us give a moment and pause for the lives that have been lost. Now then, brothers and sisters, I am here in Nova with you at a location nearby, if you can hear me. I am literally undefended. I have a pistol in my holster and no gun on my back. Anyone that finds me, I will be absolutely at their mercy, and if they feel they must cease my words with their violence, then do what they must. This week, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen a summit of individuals and factions draw together so that they might come to some conclusions about things going forward. It was tragically delayed and then cut short, so many of the things that I and the Brotherhood were hoping to address were not able to be brought to the table. We discussed the cannibals and the cult. I urged those present to give the repentant opportunity to turn away, but agreed that those who will not must be dealt with harshly. There is no functioning prison or jail. We lack the infrastructure or support to operate such a thing. There is no criminal justice system here in Chernarus. There is a chance for mercy, and barring that, certain death. It is not the preferred way, brothers and sisters, but how many innocent people need to be taken from us before we've had enough? I was sad to see the CDL leave early. It is truly a shame that they didn't take this opportunity to work with the other factions and groups seriously. I've heard reports that they left on foot to loot abandoned bases without the usual competition to concern themselves with. Truly a worthy cause. I pray these reports are false and that the CDL would never be so selfish, although their absence through much of the substantive portion of the summit leaves many questions. We've made some tentative plans with our fellow summit goers about how to respond to specific situations, and we've laid the groundwork for future cooperation. The shadowy bureau even stepped out of the shadows to show us the work they've done themselves on behalf of the cult. Deeply concerning, brothers and sisters, this is, but they are bringing this forth to us now in public release, something unheard of for many years with the bureau. This is a sign of positive change. However, they've released publicly what they have done themselves on behalf of the cult, so we might know more about them. The paladins could not attend, which was a pity, but a Lieutenant Rickmond, claiming to speak on behalf of the remnants of the Chernarushan army, arrived and pledged to take up the fight in a more pronounced way. Even the Watcher, who I have called an animal myself in the past, arrived and spoke and acted peacefully. Perhaps I was wrong about him. Brothers and sisters,
Stop now, Tex. Fucking stop, okay? You're just embarrassing yourself at this point.
ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like the members of Dark as Midnight has found me. Seems that they want to silence my words. Is that it? Have you come to silence my words? Blood once already is not enough for you?
Well, we came here for a fight, but we weren't trying to do anything quite so fucking pathetic as you lying face down in a bush.
Yes, one man, by himself, hardly armed. Kill me if you must. Or listen to my words.
And then I'm gonna fucking leave. Alright, goodbye, Tex. Jesus Christ. Bring more people next time, you fucking coward.
coward? I told you I was right here. As I was saying, brothers and sisters, we will reach an impasse. Time is running out to turn away from wickedry. God, for what this means to any, will continue to accept your prayers for mercy, and if you are sincere, give it. But the Brotherhood, one of the few orders that respects the laws that have governed nearly every civilization, are not going to be able to hold out hope that the wicked are willing to change forever. There is no prison for those that prey on men. There can only be one penalty. I do hope that those with some sense left seek us out in peace and we can come to accord. Those that do not will have made their choice. Because we must all maintain our hope. Hope is like a fire, brothers and sisters. It is important to maintain and keep that fire going. We must feed hope. Give ourselves reasons to hope. Remind ourselves to hope. It must be tended to. It can't stay lit on its own. Look around you. Think. Who has given you hope? Perhaps someone who had the jump on perhaps someone who had the jump on you and didn't harm you at all. Maybe someone who did the right thing and you saw it happen. They have helped, but have also helped you tend to your own fire. Most of us have tended only to our own fires, our own hope. If you can keep it, it will warm you, give you light to see, keep predators at bay, like desperation and fear. If it goes out, you'll be alone in the cold and dark again, hopeless and fearful. Some people might reckon, perhaps fairly, that the opposite of hope is hopelessness. That's close, to be sure. But I think the real dark reflection of hope is fear. When you lose hope, then it becomes almost impossible to stand up to fear. Those that do, I've seen them burn themselves to husks trying to destroy what made them afraid, so they wouldn't have to fear. So we must never let the fire die. On the other hand, brothers and sisters, you must not overfeed the fire. Let it grow too high, or it can burn you and others. If we get our hopes too high for things undreamed, we open the door to great despair. I am not from Chernarus natively, like many of you. It's been so long since I've seen a working airplane or working boat. I've heard a lot of people talking about getting out of here, escaping, going back home. Maybe you will. I do not expect that I will get that opportunity. I expect that I will die here in Chernarus someday. And if I do, then that's God's will. I manage that fire, that hope. I want so badly to be with my family again, brothers and sisters. I want that life again. And I've heard so many people talk about trying to go back to the life we had before. I want that too, friends. But even if we all live together in a community and everyone does their jobs, I doubt things will go properly back to the way things were. But perhaps that's for the best, in some ways. In the time that was before all this, media was cheap. Stories and entertainment came easy. We were turning away from ourselves, turning away from our friends and our family. You couldn't even engage someone on the telephone anymore. They preferred to communicate in worthless words, typed out, sent back and forth over and over. Communities became distant. People became strangers. And now We have an opportunity to reclaim that, to become a community again, to know each other's names and look in each other's faces. And when we see pain, we can alleviate it. And when we see evil, we can fight it together. Just because things won't go back to the way they were before entirely does not mean that things cannot be better than they are right now. Don't be crushed by hopes for easy answer or dreams too good to be true, brothers and sisters. Tend the fire and kindle hope in others, and your own fires will swell as well. We can survive and do more than that. We can change the world.